Hi, welcome back to Love Your Midlife. I'm so glad that you're here today. And I love having this time when we can have some kind of a connection and talk about things that are really, really important for midlife. I have moved into my office. So, this is a funny story. My youngest went off to college. We bought this rambling old farmhouse, and we do have some extra room. This was a guest bedroom, and my husband said, "Why don't you just turn it into an office?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't do that. Like, what if the kids come home?" And we have 6 kids, but they don't come and spend the night that much. And he was like, "That's kind of crazy that you're thinking that way." So I had to laugh. And I was like, "You're right." So if you have an extra room in your house, take it for you. Use it for you all these years, right? We've been saving all this space for everybody else in our family. I really wanted to talk about emotions today because they're such an important part of our midlife. They're really key to so much of our midlife, and whether we feel happy or sad or things like that. So, are you one of those women that is Niagara Falls and it doesn't matter what happens, you're just crying and you have lots of drama and you can let it all out and it feels absolutely wonderful? I envy you because I am not. I'm one of those women that kind of tends to hold things inside. I guess either one of them work, but there are some major benefits of letting our emotions out and talking about our emotions. One of the big benefits is letting your emotions out and talking about your emotions. It really will help release some stress and some anxiety. There's just no reason to hang on to this stuff. Getting it out really can help get some clarity. The other thing that can really help by talking out some of these feelings and some of these emotions is you can actually sleep better at the end of the day. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I don't know about you, but I don't really sleep that well. And so hanging on to these emotions and going to bed at night with this knot in your stomach, you're full of anxiety, it's not going to help, right? It's just not going to help. And guess what? When you wake up in the morning, it's still there because you went to bed with it and you really weren't able to talk it out or get it out or let it go. The other thing is that it's really, the other benefit that's really nice is you can make a really wonderful connection with someone, whether it's a girlfriend or a child or maybe it's your spouse. But it's so important that we're not isolated at our age, and isolation makes us feel lonely, and we're going to have a much harder time dealing with our feelings and our emotions if we're by ourselves and we're isolated and we're lonely. So remember, making those connections can be really key as far as feeling better. The other thing is it really helps us make better decisions when we're able to talk these emotions out and let these emotions out. And we do want to make better decisions. We want to have more clarity around our decisions, and we also want to make a decision and be able to move on. So talking it out and letting it out can be really important as far as letting go and being ready to move on. Don't allow your ego or your shame or any of that old stuff that's sort of hanging around in the back of your head. Don't let that keep you from reaching out and sharing with someone. And when you share your emotions, you don't have to ask for advice. In fact, sometimes I just say, I just want to talk. I just want to share. I have this issue with my husband. Men are rescuers, right? What they want to do is they want to help and they want to rescue. That's why they're a man, right? And so many times I had to say to my husband, I don't want your advice. I don't want you to throw me a rope and try to rescue me. I just want to talk this out. I just want to let certain things talk out. So that's really important. Many times talking it out with someone can bring on a whole new perspective that really might help you. And remember, when you're thinking about your emotions and you're sharing, it's incredibly important to be honest with you. Your honesty needs to start with you. And as they say, get real, however you want to put it. Honesty is a really, really important part of sharing. And you'll feel so much better when you are sharing with someone if you can totally, totally tap into being totally honest about your feelings. When an emotion shows up we don't like, how can we handle it better? How can we do better at handling it? You have an emotion or a feeling you don't like. Actually, you can probably describe it in one word. And it's actually not a bad thing to do. Sometimes you can help identify what this feeling is by where is it coming from in your body? Is it coming from, do you have a headache? Do you have a neck pain? Do you have stomach pains? I've had that happen to me before, really severe anxiety. It's important to observe and ask yourself in one word, where is the emotion in my body? And what is this emotion? What am I feeling? Don't ignore or push it down. It's only going to pop its ugly head up another time. They always do. It's not going to just go away. It's going to be somewhere else in your body. All the feelings are caused by thoughts, right? Our thoughts cause our feelings. But remember, this is key. Not all thoughts are true. What? It's true. And it's really interesting if you think about it. Just because you think it or you feel it, it doesn't mean it's true. It doesn't mean it's there for you to lean into. It doesn't mean it's there for you to believe it. Find the sentence that's triggering your emotions. That's really important. What is that thought that triggered that emotion? Every thought that we have is a choice. That is a fact. Your brain is not always on your side. And some of the stuff that pops into your brain, you're just kind of like, I can't believe I just thought that. I can't believe I feel this way because I thought that. Some of it is really, really such not valuable at all for us. And unfortunately, sometimes this stuff happens and we go, okay, I'll take that thought, I'll take that feeling. And then before you know it, it becomes part of our story. And it's really, really harmful for this negative stuff to become part of our story and for us to accept it and let it become part of our story when it really doesn't have to be at all. If you can identify a thought, you can change it. You absolutely can. Every thought is a choice. Remember, if you can identify it, you have the power to change it. We can replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. A lot of times we just don't think about it. It's not our mindset. It's not what's at the first of what we're doing. But it's so important to know if you have negative thoughts, especially reoccurring ones, you can change that. Absolutely. If we don't change it, we feel powerless. And when we feel powerless or hopeless, a lot of times that is what leads us to depression, which is really bad, right? We don't want to be in that place. It's so much harder to come back from depression rather than just catching a negative thought, thinking about it, and then changing that, changing the way that we look at that. Become aware of how your thoughts are impacting your emotions, right? Because every feeling, every thought is going to create a feeling and an emotion. Again, observe your thoughts and ask yourself, why did I think this? Is it true? Does it mean anything? Is it helping me or hurting me? Does it serve me at all? Or is it just a thought? I'm suggesting we practice mindfulness and awareness, which is really, really important, especially in midlife. Sometimes our feelings can run amok, right? We don't have some of the same body functions and some of the same thought processes that we had when we were younger. Some of us are stronger and more powerful and more able to control these things. And some of us really struggle more at this age with some of the thoughts that come into our head. Negative thoughts about body image. I can't remember anything. I wish I could change this. You can change all of that. Mindfulness sets out to change your relationships with your thoughts. That's really what it does. To be mindful is to know, right? And then the next step is, what do you want to do with that thought? We think that every one of our thoughts are true and important, but the reality is they're not. And we need to be the judge that sits back and says, no. I don't like this thought. I'm uncomfortable with this thought. It always makes me feel this way. And I'm going to replace it with something more positive. This is how we change our mindset, right? I developed the Midlife Manifesto to help replace negative thoughts in midlife with positive thoughts. And it's actually on my site. I would love for you to download it today, print it off, and take a look at it. You might find it helpful in thinking more positive thoughts. Because what we really want to do with our emotions is we want to think more positive thoughts. And we have to do it intentionally and deliberately. Because very often what follows us around all day long are some of those things that we just don't want to think about. Thoughts that are not productive, not going to help us, not going to help us move forward. And that's just sort of the way things happen. So we have to be aware of it. And if we don't like it, we can change it. And that's what I like to do. Change things I don't like. So check out the Midlife Manifesto. I hope it helps you with some of your thoughts and with some of your emotions. And think about how you can have better thoughts going in and out of your day and how that's going to be related to your feelings and your emotions and a happier you. I'm so glad that you were here with me today. Please subscribe to my channel. If you see anything that you like, please like the channel. I would love for you to comment below, and I would love to hear any of your thoughts about what we talked about today. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon.